Monday Blitz and Rapid Chess challenges here. Welcome to my stream. Astrobate. What's up, man? That was a tough simul yesterday, and you shouldn't ever resign. Offer a draw if I have low time or something like that. Welcome everybody to my chess stream, International Master William Paschall. We're going to focus on instructive commentary and playing some Blitz and Rapid Chess here, challenges with people. Welcome to the stream. I'm International Master William Paschall from the United States, living in Budapest, Hungary. Guys, you're welcome to submit chess questions. Ponda here will be happy to answer. We had an interesting game yesterday. Actually, I didn't think it was that good, but I looked at it with Stockfish, and my opponent and I actually played better than I thought, especially me. I really was not sure how dubious my play was in my tournament game yesterday, but it was actually mostly correct. I played an interesting pawn sacrifice in the opening. A lot of people misjudged the position. My team captain thought I was just lost, and this pawn sacrifice has been played in a 2018 game that I had prepared, but it looks like black's down a pawn if you're not really paying close attention to the position. PSG soccer rook, a little too strong for the first game. 2460 in bullet now. Let me get warmed up here quickly with victim. Community, no, play, create a game, lobby. Alright. Lobby 5-0. Come on, give me something higher than a 1300. Just need to get the brain working. I just logged on. Then we'll play PSG soccer rook. Come on, a little higher than a 1300. 3-0 is too fast. It's like I'm the three bears and Goldilocks. Alright. This bet is too soft. This one is too hard. This one is too low rated. This one's too fast. Give me a 5-0 challenge. There's a 1565, whatever. Alright, just to wake up. I've been awake actually for 2 hours, but mentally focused playing chess is not the same as just waking up. Alright. Especially against a fast player. I don't like waking up quickly. PSG is super fast, so I've got to get with the program here. How about a 4 pawns attack for a little early morning wake up? Infrequently used move order, but nothing wrong with it really. I can play the 4 pawns attack here. I never played this opening seriously, but I have my friend Joe, the weed master, who's an expert. He played this for years. For white, rook e8 is a bad move. It's going to end up misplaced on e8 when the e-file ends up closed. After something like e5, fe, de, d5, the rook would actually be better placed on f8 here, supporting f5. Bishop g4 also doesn't really mix with rook e8, although maybe he could try knight c6 here. No, that would just get pushed by d5. So he's got a bad position. This is particularly... Actually, I probably had e5 there. Not awake. This looks pretty strong. Actually, very strong. He has no good place to put the knight. I play h3. Probably he shouldn't make that exchange either, but I'm not so sure. It's like a Pierce with bishop g4, knight h5, and he's starting to undermine my center with c5 here. There's this hole on g3 when I try to play h3. So it starts to get complicated, like h3, bishop takes f3, rook takes f3, covering g3. No, I'm threatening you in a piece there. But he has counterplay with c5. And if I play bishop takes f3, it's like knight g3, rook e1, and he hits the center with c5. What's up, man? Good morning. We've moved the stream to 11 o'clock. We got 2 challenges for only stupid names in PSG soccer rook. I'm just trying to kind of mentally get myself prepared to stream here with a warm-up game. Knight g5, actually. Oof. Oof. That looks pretty strong. He has, yeah. What's the... Oof, that's a strong move. It didn't occur to me. See, that's why you need to get warmed up. The brain has to kind of look in different directions. Yeah, he's going to lose a piece here. Maybe not. He has an answer for that. I mean, okay, his position is terrible, but he may actually not be losing material. He has these saving moves like Queen C8, G4, Knight takes E5. Although that's not enough, is it? He's pretty strong tactically. What's going on? Jordanian. New account. One of my teammates is Jordanian. Damn, dude. I mean, that's pretty good calculation from a 1500. We know what his strong point is. Yeah, I mean, I could try... Hey, what's up, Wolf? I could try to play it in more of a positional way. I agree. Not going for the piece trap, but just trying to bottle him up. Yeah, probably like E6 is positionally just winning. But as always is the case, it seems like when I'm playing Blitz, it's like harder to play sort of tactics than strategy. I mean, harder to play strategy than tactics. Yesterday I had a French in my simul, and I had no clue how to play a sophisticated positional game, moving like, you know, every 20 seconds. It's hard. I mean, tactics are easier. Okay. Tactics are easy. That's what I say. He's trying to mate me in one, Astrobate. What do you think? Is that a surprise? Are we surprised? I don't want to get mated in one, but I don't really want to trade queens either. That's my dilemma here. He's trying to play rook h8. So superficial. Dangerous player tactically. Underrated. I mean, 17-19. That's low, dude, for this guy's quickness and tactical acuity. He's actually really not bad. He's got like a fourth pawn for the piece. The aggression is nonstop. But like most people, it seems they're addicted to moving super fast. I think this is terrible in some respects. The bullet chess is just teaching people that like moving instantly without thinking is a good thing. I mean, maybe it improves your calculative ability overall, but you know, for all that it does for you playing quick, half the time you just like don't make the best move because you're moving too fast. I mean, it's sort of stupid. For this guy's rating, he's extremely quick. And again, you know, he's calculated really accurately. Queen c8 with the tactic with knight takes c5. He saw that almost instantaneously. I mean, it's way beyond most people of this rating. Now he's starting to come unglued. Bishop takes c3, queen takes d5, check. We have mates. Let's see if he allows like the mate in 3 here. Does he calculate defensively? You see, that's one thing that people don't do. Some people can be really good attackers, but they never ever calculate for their opponent. It's kind of like when you play poker and you don't think about what your opponent's holding ever. You only think about your own cards, like this guy. He calculates, but he doesn't think about what I can do. That's a problem. That's a serious problem. Where's the mate? Ace or bait? Alright. But I'm impressed by that guy. He's only got 60-some games. Alright, rated game from Cobra 11. I don't take rated because I suck. So, no, I like to commentate the games. And if it's rated, it's more pressure. And I don't really want to like give insights, first of all, because it would help my opponent. Secondly, it's just costing me a lot of time to commentate during the game, so I don't play rated while I'm streaming. If you want to play and challenge me sometime off the stream, I'm happy to play people like a game. I would prefer 5-0 if I play rated, though. But whatever. But please re-challenge me for stream purposes. I do casual. Alright, he quickly re-challenged. So we're going to play the subscribers first. PSG Soccer Rook and Morales. That's the rule here on Mondays, Wednesdays. We're doing challenges with subscribers, taking those first. Alright, what's up? What's up, guys? Encourage your friends to come to the stream. I'm streaming 6 days a week. This is our new Monday, Wednesday, Friday starting time, 11 a.m. Central European time. Good to see Will Wolf, Asterbate, some regulars. I haven't seen Will Wolf too much. GG, Helis. Bullet helps with training memorized variations somewhat. Dude, what are you talking about? I hope you're not talking about the opening, because nobody that I play online actually knows any theory. Certainly not in Bullet. What's up, Morales? I mean, maybe at the highest level, if you're Nakamura and you're playing another GM, they could rattle off 15 moves of theory in a Bullet game, but for the most part, even they don't do that. I think it's good for your pattern recognition, probably, and tactics. Ingo's a subscriber. Ingo L. Alright, let's try Samish King's Indian. It's nice and positional. We have 7 minutes, so you might cancel your challenge if you requested my presence at office. As long as you're not holding the baby, I don't care what you're doing. H6 and then C5. It's more usual to play C5. Not in this position, actually. Yeah, H6 is... It's kind of weird to insert that. I don't mind, dude. Whatever you want. No more babies. Okay, please, dude. Morales, does this thing where he plays the game and, before we start, he claims that he's holding his baby. And so it's he's going to be handicapped or something. And then he plays, God perfectly without using any time. It was like he was trolling me or something. Are you kidding me? No more babies. Cats are probably safer. That was one of the best games he ever played. The baby game. That's just ridiculous. So it's transposed to Marazzi, where blacks played H6. And I played an early F3. I kind of know this since I played the black side of the Accelerated Dragon for 20 years. H6 should be kind of a negative impact on black's position, although it may not make a huge difference. Especially after bishop takes d4. Sometimes black plays h5 later on in the Accelerated Dragon Marazzi. It should theoretically weaken his position a little bit, this movement of the pawn to h6 or h5. But it's not like he lost the tempo. I mean, he has this move for free. Imagine, yeah. I don't know, Antonio. Your partner must be pretty smart. The mega baby. Wife or girlfriend is like a genius. I mean, you're good enough as it is, but the baby is just too much, man. Alright. It'll be scary when the baby starts playing chess. Bishop takes d4. Wonder what the record is for like a kid playing in a chess tournament. Probably like 3 years old. I don't believe in like pushing kids younger than like 5. I think 5 should be like the earliest starting age. Too much, she married you. I don't know. I'm not gonna troll you. You seem like a good guy. I like to kind of tease my friends all the time. It's a little like a Gurgenidze variation. It's actually a lot like a Gurgenidze variation. The early f3. Now he takes d4. But I would have captured with the queen in that case. So it's not really. It's like, well, it is like I brought my queen back, but how would my bishop be in? That's not the same. Gurgenidze variation is where black plays like knight f6 and knight c6 before bishop g7, and it's a special line where you trade pieces with knight takes d4, forcing white to take with the queen on d4, then chasing the queen back. But in that case, my bishop would be on e3. It's not quite the same. Basically, I have a good Marazzi. h6 helps white very slightly, and my bishop is well centralized on d4. I'm not sure if that matters. In other variations, the bishop goes to d7. It's a very subtle difference. I mean, basically, you'd think like the bishop on d7 would support this advanced b5, therefore be better. This is just a rock here. There are tactics sometimes with rook takes c3 and Gurgenidze variation, but here my bishop's on d4 protecting it. The baby is an artifact with +10 intelligence. What are you referring to? An artifact with +10. It sounds like some sort of gaming reference. All right. Queen a5. By the way, I played a tournament game yesterday, and I mentioned this briefly during my stream, but we gotta watch this now. The queen is unprotected. What I wanted to say is, I played a tournament game yesterday, and there was a funny thing that happened. So, I apologize if you heard the stream story already, like yesterday during my simul, but in that time, I didn't win. It was a draw, but it was a fighting game. I mean, it was back and forth, but I was black. The funny thing is that I prepared this week, and my opponent plays a lot of stuff. He's pretty random, and he plays d4 and e4 sort of equally. But basically, I feel like my repertoire is better against e4, and he felt like he was more of a d4-oriented player than e4. So I thought the odds are I'm going to be facing, really, the odds are I'm going to be facing d4. But now he's got, okay, b5. But after I prepared for his d4, he plays e4, of course. Like every week, it's the opposite of what I think. Either I have the wrong opponent or I prepared the wrong thing for the right opponent. But the irony was yesterday, he plays e4, and then he plays this line of the Rossolimo that I literally prepared for the opponent who didn't show up last week. So it was like a miracle. You know, I mean, I'm unprepared for this line, for this opponent, and then it turns out he plays one of the exact variations I was most worried about for my last week's match against a guy who I actually didn't play because I had faulty information from my team captain. So it was like it kind of evened out, you know. But the line is so dangerous that I don't think there's a way for black to equalize. It's a variation of the Sicilian Rossolimo. Maybe I'll show you guys on Thursday. If you come for my Thursday stream, I do game analysis. This is a perfect move in a sense because it makes h6 look like a profitable, almost useful thing. We're going to go with f4. We're going to try to bust them. My rook's better on f1 in that case, though. I previously moved it to protect my queen. I've had enough experience with black to know what's going on here. Black is a little bit in danger because of his king side. I played enough h5 and Marazzi to know when you have to be careful or not. But again, I think my rook would be best having moved. f5, queen h5 check is a possibility. Queen g5, but he doesn't have to take. He can go back to d7. And even if I did do that, maybe my rook d3 lift can help me. We got to try something. He didn't even think about it. I think black is seriously in some danger here. Similar to how I lost with Blubix yesterday. But that was really time related. I guess king h1 is going to be a necessity. Familiar. JCS, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us, guys. We need as much support as we can get in these tough times. More chess streamers than ever. Fake viewers. I don't do the bots or fake viewers. We need real viewers. So if you guys have your family, your babies, you make it account for the baby, Antonio, and the wife. Sign them up for Twitch. Queen g5 is an interesting move, but I felt that it was really not threatening anything. But the idea, I mean, I'm kind of keeping that idea in reserve for a future date. Seriously gonna snipe that? The pawn on e4, ooh, I see something I don't like here. What was the last move? Bishop c6. That's a bit of a problem. If I play bishop f3, maybe I just protect my pawn. I'm not that thrilled with this. I should be better, but it's not that much. And he's just super solid. I don't remember him ever playing this. What was this? He's playing the King's Indian. Well, it's like an accelerated dragon. White should be better here. It's not really much. Enough. It's not enough. That's the problem. Not enough. I don't want to trade queens. Maybe I can play c5. I don't see how that works. I mean, on the move, if I play queen g5, I do not have a threat, is what I'm saying. I threaten nothing. But I do like not trading queens, I have to admit. I'm definitely on board for that. e5? Pawn takes pawn, e5. e5 does nothing. His bishop's freaking protected. All along, my rook should be on f1 if I'm going to play this way, it looks like. I mean, it can always bail out with something like takes and... Let's just think about this for a minute. e5, pawn takes pawn, bishop takes c6, rook takes c6. I'm just playing e5 as sort of positional pawn sacrifice. His rook is actually pretty useful there. c5, b4 is the problem, is another problem. That would allow me not to trade queens, though. c5, b4, knight d5, bishop d5, e d5, rook takes c5. It's not enough pressure, really. Some vague pawn sacrifice. I don't know. How about e5 now? At least I have a queenside pawn majority. Whatever that's worth. What's going on? I don't know. The guy seems unbeatable. He's playing tougher. Yesterday's simul game, he played like a really cool game. Hardly perfect for both sides. I didn't really have time to look at it, to be honest. I can't seem to ever have a tactic. Now it seems like I screwed up. Slightly worse. He's trying to just kill me. I'll ignore your challenge. Challenge, ignore. On. How strong is this guy? And I don't know who he is or where he's from. He has subscribed to the stream, but he's very mysterious. 2082 in Rapid, 2200 in Blitz, 2095 in Classical, 2460. That's remarkable. 2460 in Bullet. But his score against me was horrible. Much worse than it should be, actually. He should be more like 50%. Judging by the other players of his rating level, he would have more than like 50%. All right, Antonio, we will ignore your challenge. He found that. Yeah, I just sacked a pawn. Strategically. Maybe it's not that bad. It's about the best I can say for White's position. The pass pawn bothers me. Clearly. Yesterday he won brilliancy against me. Maybe the prettiest game and the fastest. Definitely the fastest victory. What? I don't know if G4 was a good move or not. Hey, what's up, Cow Culture? It's Too Sharp Incarnate. Maybe. Too Sharp wouldn't subscribe to the stream. That's the only difference. Did he subscribe? Do we even have subscribers back then? All right, wow. Man, I mean, I'm like probably lost. That pawn sack was nothing. I mean, I was just desperate. At this point, I'm just worse, I guess. It's a miracle I didn't lose. It's -2 in this position. I managed to find the second best move. That's funny. I didn't think I could play knight e4. Ironically, this turns out to be playable. I thought about it for like a minute, or 30 seconds. Okay, I mean, it's just a gift that I won. He sort of like drifted into a lost position, but it was not a good game by me. Thank you for the sentiments, Alex Hans. But it was a good fighting effort to survive, maybe, which I specialize in, saving lost positions. All right, let's take some more challenges, guys. Also, if you'd like to ask anything, I just want to encourage everybody who watches the stream to feel free to submit like chess-related questions. I want to try to be as interactive as I can. So it doesn't have to just be about the game. I mean, if you want to ask me something generally about chess, I'm happy to take a brief interlude and try to answer somebody's question if I can. All right. Subscribers, Morales said to wait with his challenge. I didn't see him come back. Chemiculture, good to have you on the stream. I don't know if you can make it. We're still trying to do tournaments on Tuesdays. I also would like to get some feedback from various people about my Tuesday stream where I've been doing an arena, which is basically like a team, limited to our team arena. I mean, I'm not sure if I should continue to do that or to encourage more people to see the stream, to go back to the way it was before and have just like a general open arena. If you guys who are subscribers particularly want to give me some input about that, I mean, I just feel like we haven't had enough viewers. So even if like there's sometimes a troll or whatever, I mean, it might be better just to have an open arena. I know Chemiculture would play in that tournament sometimes. So I'd like to move forward with an open mind about the Tuesday tournaments. We're supposed to play a Blitz arena tomorrow night. So 6:30 p.m. Tuesday night. I don't know if I should continue to do the team thing. What do you think, JCS? You're a mod here. Always watching. Only stupid names left. All right. Guys, please support the stream. No donations yet this week. Asterbait says whatever. Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. The code words. All right. Whatever. I get it. I get you. I completely get you. Make your feelings felt. Guys, welcome to my stream. New start time. Obviously, Chemiculture likes that later start. He would never show up normally, but an hour later is even better. Out in Colorado. All right, knight f3, knight f6. Yes, let's play a Slav. Guys, I had nightmare simul yesterday. I played a queen c2, or sorry, e4 gambit. Like, that's a bad decision for me to play this against. Who was it? Take back? Do you guys remember who I played the Geller gambit against yesterday? Probably not a good idea when I'm playing 25 players. I need to be more realistic about the openings I play in a 25 board simul here, because I just can't play these complicated positions where I'm sacking a pawn in the opening and expect it to do well. I need to be a little more practical. That doesn't mean like I have to play the London system in every game, like some simul givers who specialize in the ultra boring. I mean, I'm not talking about anyone in particular here on lichess. Just in the past, I've seen people who did simuls regularly and they would play like extremely boring, like super dry openings to avoid any sort of complications. I mean, I don't think that's really fun. You know, I mean, I could do that. I could play like closed queen pawn games, really boring stuff, but it's more fun to play like different openings. That's why I allow people to play with black or white, which is definitely not a normal chess simul. Stupid names here. This is kind of unusual. Well, very unusual, I would say. Like playing bishop g4 and giving it up. Bishop g4 itself, yeah, just a bizarre move. Having played bishop f5 already, basically black is like a tempo down and a Schlechter Slav here. We got to change that weird Wednesday, Mr. Coffee. Weird Wednesday is starting at 11, not 10. Every morning stream, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is going to start at 11 Central European time. Wow, this idea is decent. It feels like he's basically lost a move as compared to mainline Slav. He played bishop g5, bishop f5 and bishop g4 in 2 moves. It's very strange. Bishop on c4 has a tendency to get hit, and that's going to be the case with knight b6, so we'll just preemptively move it where it's a little bit out of the way. But frankly, I'm not that confident. This long line of the Slav, the so-called long variation, it's like very solid for white, but yeah, Mr. Coffee's gonna have to change those commands. He's got the Central European 6 days a week there. That's changed. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. The weird Wednesday one we have to get fixed. Thanks, Asterbate. So the when command works. That's good. Queen c7. Seems like a weird square for the queen. Maybe e7 is more typical here. Of course, if you exchange pawns on d4, I can take over the e file. It is tedious playing white with this bishop on c1. It's sort of sick. What a sick piece. Current location. Does that work? Let's see. The current location, wrong. I didn't even know we had that command, JCS. You better get on it, man. I'm not paying you guys enough. All right. I just increased Weedmaster's house sitting fee. Feeling generous today. It's not really house sitting anymore since I sold my house, or it's going to be sold. Weedmaster now does mail delivery, mail recovery. Rook d8's a good move. Do something. Damn it. I could have played knight b5. Holy crap. Why do I see that now? It's really weird, that psychological effect of you only see it the next move. Okay, rook takes or pawn takes. There's e5 square, symmetrical pawn structure. I'm not a big fan. If you watch my stream regularly, I'll say it very often that I hate symmetrical pawn structures. Interesting line here. Knight b5, queen a5, knight d6. Oof. That's interesting. It just doesn't work. Other than that, it's great. Oh, it does work. What am I talking about? Knight b5, rook e1, pawn takes b5. I lost 2 pieces for a rook. Nice variation. Deep thoughts. Ludwig, thank you for showing up, being part of the stream. I've got 6 challenges, guys. We take the subscribers first, so that would be Morales when he's ready. He was taking a timeout last we checked. Please support the stream. Feel free to gift a sub, some donation of small change. Rook c1. Let's develop all the pieces while setting up cheap shots. Really nothing. After a5, he just locks down that square. Black's super solid. It goes to show even the Slav, you can play a tempo down and have a solid position. Uh-oh. Now my bishop is actually feeling a little bit unsure. Bishop e3, not a good choice. Actually, that's not that bad. Bishop e3. He'll just like move his bishop somewhere. You're gonna end up losing material. You guys are good. How am I gonna keep that thing protected, the bishop there? Damn, dude, maybe rook b1. I put my rook on c1. I'm gonna drop this pawn now. How do I not lose material? You have work today. Scary. Work is scary. Man, this position is weird. I don't know much about stupid names. Stupid names, do you ever participate in the chat? Do we know who Stupid Names is? It's not. He's got a terrible score against me. Why is his score so bad? 31-1. I don't recall him playing really badly. You know, to have that kind of score. Maybe I could just resign here. Losing a pawn for nothing. Wow. I guess I don't have to lose a pawn. Famous last words. Tal would have probably played bishop g5 like instantaneously. I guess bishop f4 is also interesting. You could have set up some interesting tactics that don't work, like knight b5. But now the question is what to do next. The big question. We have to make some sort of really awkward move here. I think bishop f4 was probably the way to go. But just pretend you're working. He actually got paid. Guys, welcome to the stream, International Master William Paschall. We're playing Blitz and Rapid Chess with commentary. A little bit foggy-headed. H6. Anyway, I said bishop f4. Obviously, I could play bishop h4 as well. Here I have some vague tactics like knight b5, but it doesn't really work. I would only get 2 pieces for a rook. Even if he was to take it, so... I mean, it looks neat. Doesn't really do anything. The important thing is the lateral defense. Here. There's that nastiness. I mean, it's nice having an active-looking bishop. We want to go back to sleep. Maybe I'll play the exchange Slav. That would probably be more interesting than this, and less tedious. We could have already agreed to a draw and moved on. Guys, it snowed here in Budapest. It's really awesome. I don't know if it's still snowing. It was last I checked. It's weird. Weird to see snow. Damn, dude. I agree, my position looked harmless. I mean, it was sort of deceptive. I was able to do nothing. And you start to like get lulled, speaking of lullabies, lulled into a false sense of security. White's position was so toothless that he just completely underestimated me. Yes, I can give mate. That's ridiculous. All right, Morales is still in wait. Man, I mean, I think the black stand's better, guys. Until that last move, like knight f8. I mean, I'm not sure knight f8. This is reinforcing that. I'm just curious to see what Stockfish says. It thinks that I'm better. Knight f8 is a top move. One of the top moves. Computer loves the 2 bishops, but it wasn't easy to play without like hanging a pawn, you know. And by the way, like bishop g5, I don't think h6 is a good move. I thought like bishop e7, probably. Peter doesn't like that. All right. I guess it wasn't so bad. Thanks for the game. Elder Balam. Guys, please support the stream if you can afford it. We can use the donations to keep the thing going in these tough economic times. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. I do replay all the, I post all the old streams on there because eventually they get knocked off of Twitch. If you want to watch an old stream, go to my YouTube channel. Okay. Next game. Morales, are you back with us? I haven't heard anything from Morales. We're going to wait. So, Cobra. Did I have another subscriber challenge? Ludwig used to be a subscriber. Former subscriber challenge. Alright, guys. Cobra 11. Is that a TV show? Is that like one of those police TV shows or something? What is Cobra 11? TV cop show. Oh, Ingo challenge as well. Yeah, my bad. So you're actually supposed to be next. Pawna can sing a lullaby? The London system is calling. The clash. London system calling. Knight f3, e6. I've been playing mostly e6. The king's Indian is a lot of work. That's my other primary defense to d4. But it's it's a drudgery playing the King's Indian. I don't really like giving my opponent like massive amounts of space advantage. As you get to the higher level, that really starts to be felt more, whereas lower rated players have a hard time, really hard time, exploiting space advantages. See, I called it. Right, German Highway Police series. I knew it. I thought it was American. I've definitely seen it though on TV, so that's probably why I've seen it, because I live in Hungary. It's probably replayed here. I mean, we get everything, American and German series. Okay, this is pretty standard. Then the question is when to play c5 or d5. If I wanted to play d5, I would play it like straight up. I know there's a variation here. It's like a trick, like c5, knight c4. My friend Kostic, Dragon Kostic has he's a grandmaster who plays for Montenegro Olympic team. He's very solid. He plays in London with white too. I saw a game with I think c5, knight c4. That gets a little bit dicey. So I'd rather like kind of wait with the move order with c5. Karate Kid. What does that have to do with Karate Kid? Okay, now c5 a move later? I think we can still continue to wait. He's made sure... I guess I was threatening knight h5 after bishop e7. This is probably an accurate move order by white. Cobra Kai. I'm sorry. I have to confess, I think I didn't really watch the entire Karate Kid. Shame on me. Missing one of the best film productions in history. It's right up there with Dracula. Okay, c3. Threatening e4. So the time has come. d5 not such a great setup here. I guess I could play like d6. The thing is, he's going to play e4. It's funny though. Funny, haha. Maybe we'll just play d6. It's going to be a little passive. Usually I would play knight c6, but the problem is in a hedgehog type formation, your knight ends up getting in front of the bishop on the wrong square. And this is a problem in a lot of different openings. Now basically, I can exchange on d4. My fear is that lower rated players will take with the c-pawn. We'll have the dreaded symmetrical pawn structure. Technically, he's supposed to take back with the e-pawn. Probably my opponent, who seems to play this right, will take back with the e-pawn. Hold your breath. I had an Azeri Grandmaster take with C takes in a Blitz game. I was like, dude, you're really a GM and you play like that? Gotta be kidding me. It was like a low-rated GM. I was disgusted. I mean, this was a Blitz game, but still. So now we have a kind of standard hedgehog against the London system. It's very hard to win with black against the London. I've had mostly a lot of draws in this type of formation. You get some people who go nuts. They like castle queenside. For white, I mean, I don't think that's really correct. It's okay for blitz or bullet, but you should castle kingside here. Guys, welcome to the stream. Please donate and support the Panda. Support the stream. We have no cheers yet. Today's our first stream of the week. Be the first to cheer. Cheer your way to the top. Resets in 6 days. You have 7 days. Donate and support the stream. A6, knight bd7, rook e8, queen c7, rook c8, when possible. Right now he's barreling down on my a6 pawn, so it's not that easy to move my rook from a8. Basically, I'll normally strive to play like e5 at some later date. Or we have on the queen side, whoops, I just clicked something. On the queen side we have a minority attack. Technically, black has a better pawn structure. If you look at it in a kind of holistic way, I believe that any side who has the larger pawn structure, the larger island, I mean, is kind of strategically superior. Wow. So this is like straight up nuts. The answer to a wing attack is strike in the center. Knight d7 is okay. I was thinking just going nuts here. g4 is really insanely dangerous. I mean, I think if he wants to do that, he really might want to consider castling first. Queenside, I thought that was coffee house. Oh, I just take on d4 if I want to. I mean, it's probably fine. He can't take back with the knight. There goes the structure. Now his queen is not well placed. And there's no real safe place for his king. But I think he might have wanted to try to take it. If I was white, I would probably bite the bullet here and make me prove it. Like pawn takes pawn, bishop takes e5, knight d7. Intuitively, I thought white's in a lot of danger. I mean, I guess he is in a lot of danger. I'm not sure if there's some g5 or any kind of tricks he has. Basically, I wouldn't play g4. Now, knight c6 is interesting as well. There you go. That's where you should have gone before. Sensible decision. Sense and sensibility. Basically, just made the position really random with g4 and weakened his position. I'm a little bit concerned about f7, though, having played rook e8. I'm not sure how good that is objectively. It feels like I'm playing the Roy Lopez, but white just traded off his e-pawn and moved his pawn to g4. Like we're supposed to have pawns on e4, e5, and it would be like a Roy Lopez Spanish game. Stopping, positional move stopping, knight b4. His queen will redeploy. You can't go wrong with g6 here, I think. I'm going to try to fianchetto. Really not a lot of places to put my pieces. Not that many options. Surprisingly, white isn't busted with that g4. It's visually very ugly, but not busted. I'm kind of unconvinced by my play. How about knight takes? Strangely passive. Sure, it matters. About to lose on time. I guess that's his thing. Cobra 11. 2018. He's consistent. 2000 everything. Black should be slightly better. But g4 is not that big a deal, surprisingly. He missed the win of a pawn there. I think I would have had enough compensation, but I'm really not happy with my play. A lot of king moves. But I don't want to be trading queens here. I think he's kind of overextended. It's a pretty important concept. I can trade queens and be equal, but honestly, man, dude. Most of his pawns are on the wrong color. But that's not necessarily enough here. So blocked. There's no way to make progress. Impressive game by White. He had a lot of weaknesses, and he still very quickly managed to neutralize and stay ahead on the clock the whole game. G4 is like insane. It's unbelievable. Computer thinks that White is not worse after that. Jeez. That's insane, dude. Bishop G3, best move. Wow. This part of the game he played amazingly. Queen F1, when I would have expected Queen D1. I think most people would have expected Queen D1. Apparently there was a blunder at some point. I was losing, and at some point he was losing. All right. Morales. Ingo's up. Actually, we're waiting on Morales. Morales, are you back? I'm going to play Ingo. You tell me if you're ready or not. Oh, GG Helis, only stupid names left is you. Okay. I didn't even remember. Because you have a different name, it throws everything off. Alright. I thought I was going to win easily after my opponent played G4 last game, but he did a good job. Apparently there was one win I didn't see. Alright, let's try C4. I don't really like this because black can play D4. And that variation seems superior. Did we play this once before? Somebody played this against me. Looks like I beat Ingo But I must have been black. Is that right? What is that? Actually, I'm not even sure what's happening in that position. Yeah, I was black. So you're basically playing a Queen's Gambit accepted with G6. Very rare variation that's considered better for white. Can I try to punish it right away with like Queen B3? I mean, Queen B3 is interesting. We're going to have to lose the time back, though. I missed a Bingo England Storm just now. HTFP, because the Weedmaster just sent me a message. He was going to go down and get my mail on Thursday. It's funny because we just got snow here. I didn't realize the storm was big in New England. I thought it was like in the Midwest in California. I didn't see that like on major news networks. I mean, I don't watch like local New England news from Budapest, more like general American news. I just assumed New England had some. Wow. Last year we had like no snow. Actually, there's hardly been any snow. The last year, even the last couple of years that I can remember. Budapest got snow. We have, actually it might still be snowing now. Let me see. I could walk outside the room and check. Yeah, it's still snowing. Funny, the guys that were fixing the roof of my house just finished like 1 day, 2 days before it started snowing, so they're lucky. Budapest, I don't know, I guess then most of Europe may have snow. Actually, I might want to put my queen somewhere else. Trying to discourage c5 from Ingo here. That will allow him to pressurize the center. What's his best move? He can play knight c6, but then I play bishop e2. Yeah, knight c6 or b6. High-tech doorstop. Did you see my high-tech doorstop? You did not. It's low-tech. Queen e7 is also an interesting move. c5, can you get away with that? I'm not big on putting my queen on awkward squares, like queen a3. Northern Hemisphere is usually winter at the same time. Thanks for letting me know. You're always on to acerbate. But you know, what's weird, and I've said this many times, but it's funny because you look at the map of the world and you don't really think about the fact that you don't realize, at least I didn't, that Budapest is actually further north latitude-wise than like Boston. I mean, and our weather here is way milder, way warmer. It's kind of weird. You know, when I moved to Hungary, I always just sort of imagined that Hungary was further south, and it's actually not the case at all. Despite the fact there's way more snow probably in US than in New England than Budapest. And it's also hotter here in the summer, which I hate the humidity. All right, this is an interesting setup by Ingo. It doesn't look right, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. I should have thought of that when I played Queen B3, kids. All right, we're going to go for it in the center. But I don't know what I'm doing. What's the worst snowstorm that you remember? The year before I moved here, 2003, my car in Boston was like, there was snow over my car, you know? I'll never forget that. It was the winter of 2003, and I'm literally digging out like my car from a 6-foot snowbank. There was nothing funner, funner than that, man. That was great. I'm like, I'm so happy not to dig my car out of 6 feet snowbanks here in Budapest. I don't have a car, but if I did, at least I wouldn't have to worry about that. But that doesn't happen every, 10 years? I mean, a storm like that. Yes. E5, only move. My pieces aren't quite set up right for this. What would Mr. Coffee do? Yeah, were you there in 2003, Antonio? Maybe not. You told me a different date, right? I'm going to go with the King's Indian structure here. But not the most sharp move, closing it up. A lot of energy behind this pawn, blocked in. Potential energy. Your biggest one was in the Romanian mountainous area? 0.5 meters of snow. Oh my god. Yeah, no, Romania gets serious snow. Totally different than Hungary. Again, queen a3, it just leaves my queen in a very bad place. Yeah, you just missed that monster storm. I never had a snowstorm where the snow was over my car. I mean, I guess they get that all the time in like places like Michigan, you know, but you don't expect that necessarily to happen very often in Boston. It's not like it's the first time it ever happened, but the first time in my life. I lived there for like 11 years. A little bit longer. I was living in Boston more or less like 13 years. Let's see. 1990 until 2003. (1990 through 2003). That's actually 14 years. 14 years in Boston and now 15 years in Budapest. Well, we're not going to get into a discussion of how old I am. The vampire. Dangerous business here for black. It's like a hybrid of a King's Indian and some sort of Queen's Gambit accepted. Thank you, Ludwig. That's even better than a donation. We don't have any bit donations today, but Ludwig made me feel better about my age. Some things are more important than money. That's it. So he blundered. The classic one-move blunder. I was actually hoping for that. I'm thinking, how can I win this position easily? Black can play c6. Tempting move, but no good. Drifting. But don't feel bad about this game and go. I think you had a kind of creative approach and you were doing okay. But something started to go wrong after d5. Your handling of d5 doesn't look right. You're going to have to re-evaluate that. I just want to see that position. When I played d5, I wasn't really thrilled with it, but I don't know what else to do. I did look at bishop g5. I was unconvinced after c6. Bishop e3, just keeping the tension, probably the best move. Okay, so here, this is like you fell victim to this temptation to play for a one-move threat. You know, the thing is, I've tried to implement this in my own play. It's very important that you try to think about the pieces that are badly placed. Like this artificially placed queen on b3. It's counterintuitive, but you should actually not try to attack it. You should probably leave it where it is because it's misplaced. It might be vulnerable later, but I think by playing knight c5, you kind of take a stab in the dark here, and you're actually putting your knight in an unstable position. Maybe if you played a5, you could try to hold up that knight on c5, but then there's a lot of ramifications, like you weaken the b5 square. I would think like you could play here, knight e8. Computer thinks I can blast you with a tactic, though. Basically, I want to play knight e8, play knight d6, and try to blockade. Another classic move here is a6. Keep the b5 square away from the white pieces. This is a Queen's Gambit accepted setup, often played in the Chigorin type of positions, where the structure arises. That's what it reminds me of, like a Chigorin Queen's Gambit accepted hybrid. Typically, there'll be like this backwardness along the c-file, but it's often very hard for white to get on it. How do I pile up pressure on the c-file when all my minor pieces are stupid, like the bishop's on c4? This is the most awkward piece. It's blocked by my own pawn. It's pretty much a bad bishop no matter where it goes. It's hard for me. I can't get access to b5 now. My queen remains on a bad square. So I think you could just hold from a slightly worse position. Mr. Coffee saves the day with a donation of 100 bits. This gift subs and cheers was looking empty, Mr. Coffee. I find that people are less generous in the morning than they are in the evening. I wonder if there's like a psychological aspect to that. We'll have to do a study. Mr. Coffee, thank you, seriously. 100 bits. Cheers to Mr. Coffee. Mr. Coffee, another job for you. Since, it's not enough that you donated 100 bits to the stream. I need you to check the Wednesday command and see if you can fix it so it says 11 o'clock instead of 10. Check Wednesday and Friday commands. Yeah, Monday, that's true. Monday's a bad day. Don't people normally deposit their checks in the bank? You get paid on Friday? No, it's Friday. I never get paid, so I don't know. All right, Morales is up. Yo, Hungarian. Mr. Coffee speaks Hungarian. Yo. It means good. But it's J-O. All right. E4, E6. Oh, God. No. I hate the French, man. At least it's a Hodgewatch. See ya. Ludwig speaks Hungarian. He's asking me how I am. He said hi. This is our new Nefedov variation. It lost yesterday because I transposed back into the winnower. I'm not going to make that mistake again. The game with Hugo, was that it? What was his name? Asterbate, do you remember? The Norwegian guy? I played e5 like a dum-dum. He played c5 against me. Probably I should keep an open game with pawn takes pawn, but I played e5 transposed to the winnower. Yoregel Kivanok, which means good morning. Polite good morning. I would probably learn Romanian much easier. Latin-based language. Hungarian is extremely difficult. This is the Nefedov variation. I think Romanian is an interesting language because it's probably, and I'm not a scholar or anything, but probably closer to Latin than anything else remaining in the language world, I would think. Hungarian they use in like science fiction movies as a alien language. Holy crap. Morales just played b5. I wonder if Morales has ever played like Nefedov in one of my Tuesday arenas. Have they ever played this line? Have you played this much before? Knight f4, I don't know where the knight goes from there. But this move for me, I saw Nefedov play another game. The virtue of this is very clear. It's not just about attacking e4. It's just a really, really good way to just secure the g file against that rook. Normally, I don't like my rook, my knight to be on g3. Everyone knows that who watches my streams. Knight 3 knights are usually poorly placed. This is kind of an exceptional position. It's an excellent defender on g3, basically negating its pressure along the g file. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream, International Master William Paschall. We strive to produce instructive content here. My chance to take that pawn is upon me. Knight takes e4. Kind of goes against the whole principle again of giving him play along the g file. Morales is basically saying I've got a pawn and I'm going to keep it. But what if I just play like bishop e2, bishop e7, castle? I don't try to win my pawn back directly. I feel like that's more important. To stop this whole nonsense with rook g4. Not care that much. It's a doubled pawn. Whatever. Welcome to the cult of Sledge. Jan95. Yanni. The cult. Very exclusive. Sorry. Exclusive. We exclude people. Bishop e2. Mr. Material. Arsenal. Can you see this challenge on the stream? I thought it was visible. On my screen I can see it. It says 4. But let me know if it's obscured or something. But I mean, if you're a subscriber, Arsenal, you get to play first. Actually, Ludwig is not a subscriber at the moment. He used to be. So we've got no subscribers currently. If Arsenal wants to challenge, he can play first. So now clearly black has intentions to castle queenside. But a4 just sort of plays itself here. He has another move though, damn. Actually, he could have played that last move. He could have played 95. Wow. He's going to have to play c5. But I feel like I need to grab that pawn. Why do I feel like I need to grab that pawn so much? What if I just don't? Just don't. Actually, if he plays knight d5, I can trade queens. There's a lot of moves, actually. I can play queen takes e4 in your face. If bishop a3... The c4 move is tempting. What I'm concerned about is a trade of queens here. c4, knight d5, queen e4. Knight f6. Some crazy complications. Bishop a3, c5, then c4. It's also interesting. Man, it's tough to decide what to do here. GP Bear says I'm looking at queen takes h7 lines. Yeah, I didn't even consider, I didn't even discuss the possibility of rook b1, for example. This is like the first time I played this variation. I tried to play it yesterday, but didn't continue because it transposed to a winnower, which I hate. Misplayed it and lost. My assignment was a disaster yesterday. One of my worst results, I was -2. I think my worst record ever was -1, if I remember correctly. And yesterday we were like 9 wins and 7 losses. Imagine if Arsenal fan had played. Would have been even worse. Alright, so now what? Any cool ideas from the peanut gallery here? What's he gonna do, like castle queenside? Flat out of other ideas. I want to make my material count. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Thanks for supporting us, Mr. Coffee, 100 bits. Guys, I moved the stream times on weekdays to 11 to accommodate a little bit of a later start, maybe encourage more Europeans who are late risers. A little more in the middle of the day, between 11 and 1:30 is the stream time. We can go as late as 2, depending on my schedule. I don't want to get too far in the afternoon. I usually have some lessons and stuff like that, so I can commit 2.5 hours to 3 hours per stream, depending. Rook c8. Now, at least he can't castle queenside. We can rule that out. Which rook? Probably useful, useful thing. Those pawns are not going anywhere. I could have used the other rook, though. I'm not sure. I may regret that later. How about fd1? Rook fd1. Really, fe1 or fd1? r2d2. Introduce yourself to the open file. All right, now all pieces are kind of maximumed. Paralysis and some time pressure. It's hard to find moves here. If I win this game, I dedicate it to Pavel Nefedov. Uh-oh. Bernie talk. Feel the burn. Oh no, queen f8, looking for rook h6 type of ideas. Getting interesting. Queen h6 he might just go for. Intuitively, we have 2 ideas, taking on c5 or d5. At this point, even queen f4 is not a bad move. He basically wants to get out of the pin. Do I have enough here? Can force an exchange of queens. Practically force it. Crazy about my structure. I'm not crazy about my structure. Enunciate. The master of enunciation. I feel like I did the wrong rook. Damn it. We need everything we've got. There's little tactics like pawn d5, knight f5. Saving my butt from annihilation. Man. Those two bishops are... At least one of them is looking good. One bishop's better than none at all. There is a little bit of scariness here. He's got some wicked threats. Damn, I don't need that microboard popping up when I'm about to make my move. Damn, dude. So he finally... He has one pawn for the exchange. Oh my god, is it mate? What a horror show. It's like that other time I lost to him. He's an unbelievable blitz player, really. It's just like that other game. The same material one other time. What a swindle. He's 1998, my butt. Alright, I shouldn't complain about swindles. I was mated, wasn't I? Just mated. You're telling me there's no mate there after that check? My god, what a horror. Horror show. Look at this. This has to be mate. How is this not mate? Unbelievable. It's unbelievable that there's no mate with those two knights there. I should have gone back to G1, ironically. I'm lost, but I'm only down a pawn or something. Like king G1, knight E2 check, king H1, knight takes D4, bishop takes D4. Okay, 2 pawns. It's still, I could play it out, but this looks like it's even worse. Alright, man. Silly blitz finish. Sorry. It was a good game. It was an interesting game. Alright, next game. Mo and Larry. Mo and Larry. Do you guys remember Mo and Larry? Can we trust them? They're not a troll? Can we get any information on Mo and Larry? You may vaguely remember a good thing or a bad thing. Let's see the game I played with them. Game with you. It was a draw. Wait, I'm like down a piece and it was a draw? What? Why is it a draw? Bishop takes 6, draw. So I just dropped the piece. Alright, it's not a troll. They were polite and offered me a draw. We have to be careful. Can never be too careful. If they had like 20 cent upon loss with no no inaccuracies, it's hard to keep track of who I played. With a name like Mo, Larry, and Curly, who can take them seriously? Alright. Man, this stream is getting tougher. Mr. Coffee, what's up? Are you pre-work? You have off today? Snow holiday. No more London system. Personal holiday. I hope it's a holiday. Nothing bad. Knight c3 right away. Oh. Well, he certainly seems to know what he's doing. Most London systemers would be uncomfortable with this. Not even putting your bishop on f4. And I don't feel like playing the Pierts. Doesn't leave us with a lot of options. Some kind of weird Wade defense. Whatever you want to call it. I had a game with who was it? Negro Modelo, where he got me. Really beat me badly. But he did something weird, like he played e6 and d5. That would be normal, actually. I don't remember now. I just remember getting a really awful structure with white. Coffee. We need more coffee, Mr. Coffee. On the 7th day, I rested. Check defense by transposition. Not an opening I ever really studied. Queen f8 was lovely. Brilliant. Normally, like, you have to pull teeth to get Morales to trade queens. But today he was, like, begging for a queen trade. In that position. I don't know. Should I allow a4, a5? a4 is a good move. Looks very professional. Maybe I should just play d5 in one go. Screw it. Well, 2 goes, technically. That's what I mean. This looks like a really good move, actually. Professional. I don't like a5. Queen a5 might be an idea, but then b4 might come in. This just looks like a very reasonable Caro-Kann now. Where a4 has limited value. I think that if I play a6 and he like levers me fixed with a5, or if he fixes it with a5, I mean that's really pretty good. Who else plays this opening with white that we know? PSG Soccer Rook. I need a bit of time to wake up too. I'm very slow to wake up, Mr. Coffee. I mean, masturbate, whatever your name is. Arsenal fan. Third try. We're here for the humor. My good memory. GP Bear, where are you from? E6. Well, I mean, where do you live? That it's 3 a.m. Oregon. We had another player here from Oregon. Trouts. He's on sometimes. Lives in like Portland, I think. Bishop b5, knight c6. I could also play knight d7. It's more passive. No Premier League football there. Sorry, Arsenal. How's Arsenal doing this season? The elephant in the room. One of the many elephants in the room. I'm neutral, man. I'm totally neutral. You know that. When it comes to European football, I have total neutrality. The Patriots lost yesterday in NFL. I had a weird premonition they were going to lose. I knew what happened before I even saw. They lost to the Houston Texans. They've been struggling like every game they win, barely to win. It was just a matter of time. Now that I'm not going to live in New England anymore, maybe I have to switch sports I watch or something. I've been in Budapest for 15 years. I still haven't really gotten into European football. I think it's like you either like start at an early age or that's it. Bishop on b5. And a4 ends up being an absolute worsening of White's position. Weakening. So, for that reason alone, I don't like the fact that Mr. Mo Larry Curly played 6e takes d5. I think if you're going to play consistently, you have to probably push here. Well, a4 has some interesting uses, but yeah, of course, in the check defense, you can play b5. There's a lot of people who do this knee-jerk reaction, a4. But I'm not necessarily going to play b5. I mean, that's a way to play. Particularly if White's going to set up with queenside castling or something. But if I'm not, if he's not castling queenside. Knight h5, bishop e7, knight g3, loses a piece. I could play knight h5, just trade pieces, but he has this nasty trick. Knight h5, bishop e7, queen e7, knight d5. But is that good for White? Queen d8. And then like queen e5. He's equal. Pawn d5, queen h5, rook c2. But he's active enough there. And anyway, I don't really like trading my dark square bishop. This is a compromise, though. I'm big believer in preparing for the endgame as early as possible, thinking about endgame transitions. And I don't really want my king further away from the center of the board. As we get closer to the endgame, potentially. White's setup is perfect, though. This guy already has the one draw, but that was a blunder by me. It was a drawn position, though. You know, it looks like it was probably a really tough game where he had a bishop and a pawn for the rook. I'm not sure about that position, actually. There might have been some winning chances when I dropped the rook. My c-file is nice, yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, man, I mean, I teach people to play for that, but bishop b4 is interesting. He's just going to have all these rook glyphs. I guess I should trade pieces. You know, that's really all I can do. Before the attack comes. He's got hardly any games, though. It feels like it's a... You can say what you want, but it feels like it's a Smurf account. This is probably not his only account, especially if it's called Mo, Larry, and Curly. You got to think of an original name. That's not it. All right. Yeah, rook c6 is solid. But he's got, you know, play. It's a typical, Queen's Gambit exchange variation, Caro-Kann exchange variation. They're basically the same thing with colors reversed. Mr. Coffee knows. Now he guards c2, so I might want to put more pressure on that point indirectly. Knight f5 is interesting, but he's going to get away. Knight f5, queen d8, rook d8, knight e2, and he survives to fight another day. Black's slightly better there, but it's not that much. This is more aggressive. Maybe not even a good move, I don't know. Tomorrow night, guys, we've got tournament arena stream. Pawn and Horses Club. You can join the Pawn and Horses Club. Can we get a link for that? Anybody who's not joined wants to play tomorrow in our arena? I've been thinking of going back to making like an open arena. I want to get Mr. Coffee and everybody's input on it. Mr. Coffee, what do you think? We should consider all our options. I'm actually not threatening anything here. I'm okay, you're okay. It's like he's tempting me into knight f5 or something. I just want to think about whether we want to have the arena be the team arena or just do open arenas. We can do both. I mean, I'm flexible. Sometimes we can do one, sometimes we can do the other. I'm not thinking about, not necessarily Astrobate. That's not what I said. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying disband the club, dude. I'm saying, you know, keep open the option to do, you know, both kind of tournaments. Some open and some not. Clearly, I'm going to have to play h6 at some point here. I think alternating can be good. Maybe I should do that like with the 1 week, you know, with the Pawn Arena where it's like a rapid. We could have that be just for the club and otherwise do it the Blitz can be an open arena. Maybe we can alternate, see which one attracts more viewers, more successful. Here comes the threat to play knight move. Now that queen is pretty originally placed. Shadow queen. Broke through to the other side. No threats. Oof. Still no mate. Where's the mate? Where's the freaking mate, man? The mate, man. I guess h5 doesn't quite work, but f5 might work. There's no mate on g7. That's funny. Funny, haha. Alright. Arabian mate. Form of the Arabian mate. Arsenal fan. Our next subscriber challenge. What's up? It's almost 1 o'clock. Okay, we're streaming till at least 1:30. Let's play the Scandinavian. I saw in that last IVYM subscribed with Twitch Prime 10 months on a 5-month streak. Thank you. The Carlsen plays this for real in Blitz against Anand. Oh, d4. I didn't even take advantage of it. Arsenal played d4. I didn't know you did that. So I'm supposed to play like e5 against that. Whoops. Now what am I playing? What is this now? It feels like a c3 Sicilian if I play c5. But it's not really. I mean, c5 to c4, queen e4 check, that's kind of sketchy. c5, c4 may not be that good, though. Alright, whatever. What am I doing? Boy, this is probably a bad move. We'll try to get away with it. Pretty sketchy. I shouldn't play c5. Thank God he played that. Stronger was knight c3. I spaced on d4. Just e5 is strong. Knight c6 would transpose. No, that's something else. Knight c6 is also possible. Knight f3, bishop g4. There's two choices for black. Knight c6 or e5. I played this knight f6, stupid. Now it's like just a pleasant endgame for white. Probably like pretty equal. White has a sort of nagging little advantage. Though I wouldn't think really Arsenal's cup of tea. I would think. I said that already. Not your cup of tea. Arsenal's pretty universal, but he's not really an endgame specialist. Oof. I'm playing badly this game. Bishop f3, man. I'm suffering. But it's okay. Bishop f3, knight c6, knight c6, bishop c6, bishop c6, b takes c6. White is slightly better. It's not that bad. Another interesting move there was b4, which he missed. So he's playing well, but not quite that incisively as he could. White is only equal, whereas he could probably have a solid edge because of my stupidity. Knight d7. Knight d7. Now he has bishop d4, very strong. And I can't move my bishop from f8 because the bishop takes g7. If I play e5, that might be playable, but he gives up the d5 square. Here, here. The square becomes weak. Oh yeah, Arsenal's bad. I said bad things. Nah, I'm neutral in football. Bishop g7. Didn't even think about it. Time for the blockade. Blockade. He didn't take long to go there. Where are you going? I really grammar have good. I talked about king centralized for the endgame, right? Hallucinating there's tactics. Bishop takes b5, only equal. Bishop b5, cb5. Interesting. Don't have to ask me twice. Wow. So you're comfortable with that. That's not a problem for you. You're totally comfortable with those bishops there. All right. What is he trying to do? He's going to play like bishop b4? The thing about Arsenal that's interesting is he sort of has the ability to kind of adapt quickly. He's sort of confident. Even when he's got a bad position, he's very cagey, which is a good skill. Looks like I need my dark square bishop at this point. Now g7 could really fall too. I mean, I guess I could play bishop d4 and in e5 and put all my pawns on white squares. Whoa. Dude. Arsenal, what's with the new rating? 21-17 in Rapid? You gained like 200 points. Holmes gained 200 points overnight. What happened, man? Did you buy those games? All right. What am I going to do? Maybe we have to take. Seriously. Definitely wasn't my original plan, but it's looking like the right thing to do now. Yeah, that's... Who looks like they're expecting? Me? No, I've been a lot fatter before. Nowhere near my peak weight. Shit. What am I going to do? B6? B6, rook h4. He's starting rook h4 now. And bishop b4 check. He can't take on g7. I still have rook g8. Maybe I can play b6 and rook h4, h6. Rook g4, g6. Something new and totally creative. He gained 200 points. That's a lot, dude. Tactical player. Arsenal, I didn't know you were a tactical player. Getting to be the endgame grinder. Rook g4, g6, rook h4, h6. Damn, dude, I think you can take that and play rook g4. Holy crap. That's crazy. I think he could have actually taken... He was just too lazy to calculate it. Incredible intuition by white. But he didn't pull the trigger on rook g4. Sorry, bishop g7 followed by rook g4. I mean, there's possible that I missed something there. More than possible. Likely. But permanent pin. He almost seemed to have changed his style. Isn't that weird? Just new threats all the time. But it feels like I'm okay. For the first time, I got out of that pin. He missed his windows of opportunity. The black is okay for the first time. Very, very annoying and tough struggle just to equalize. A little bit like my game from yesterday. Suffered for a while, and then I was better. At the end, it wasn't enough. I came really close to winning yesterday. King f7 is the place to be. What's up, everyone? We're streaming for a while longer. International Master William Paschall. Try to make these commentaries instructive. I'm playing casual games here on lichess, so as to have more time to talk about the position. I mean, white has been dominating the whole game, more active than black. He has the bishop pair. But at the end of the day, still got some sort of tricks. I'm not pinned anymore. Need to remember that. He's still got some tricks left, it looks like. Damn, dude. Unbelievable. Just brutal. He's got more threats. Groveling for a draw. However, he doesn't have a king. I mean, he does, but it needs to join the party. Playing without the king. Troll alert. Was that Bob? Sounds like a Bob topic. Almost perfect endgame technique by white. Oh. Damn, dude, I thought I was up material. I am up material. Okay. He has a tendency to get excited and play too fast when I get low on time. Major character flaw. White is on the verge of losing. Now he's beyond the verge of losing. Nah. Dude, you had a great game. I mean, many chances to be significantly better in this endgame. And you just kind of gave it to me at the end. But I could see the 200-point improvement. I mean, it's almost like a total stylistic change. He's just really good. Okay, Yanni, he's very controlled. I think this is a good game by White, but actually in the opening I was busted. I think if you play knight c3 here, I'm almost clearly worse. I just can't play c5 in this position. This is very dubious. Seriously, this is not good. Morales, see you tomorrow. Guys, we're going to host an arena Blitz tournament on Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Alright, just because you don't play knight c3 variation, Arsenal, doesn't mean you should never play it. Like in this case, you're just clearly winning a tempo in a powerful position. I think you should, without a doubt, switch to knight c3 in that moment when I play c5. And 212, it's provisional, so I'm probably not going to take that, and especially since it's rated. But I'm not going to take challenges from provisional accounts. If you have 100 games or so, I would play with you if it's casual. Yanni. Yanni's a Hungarian name. János. Let's try something different. I've been playing knight f6 every game. You tricked me with d4. Last move. I mean, first move. Second move. Whatever. Third move. London system. Formation. Black has the maximum flexibility. I don't have bishop on f8 though. I've committed my bishop to g7. c5, d5. Probably better for white. If d5, he has knight b5. I can revert to that type of formation though. I can play knight a6. It's not that bad. Arnu, welcome to my stream. I don't usually use the move order with the modern defense, so I don't have a pre-planned response to this. I want to do better than just transpose to a normal modern defense. This bishop's on f4. Knight c6 is an interesting move. Well, I thought, Arsenal, you had one variation toward the end where you had bishop takes c5, b takes c, rook f5. You had some endgame where you're going to be able to win that pawn, but allow my rook to penetrate down on the 7th or 8th rank, and it was kind of dodgy, but I thought you were slightly better. I don't remember the exact moment where you played bishop g2. Trading bishops, yeah. I mean, it should have been a draw, probably, toward the end. You might have had better, I'm not sure. Now knight f3. Knight takes d4. Knight takes d4, e5. That's interesting. I don't see anything that can go wrong. Nothing can possibly go wrong with this. What could possibly go wrong for black here by temporarily sacrificing a piece? Got to get these London guys out of their little niche, creating some weirdness. Alright, so he misplayed this. I thought. Maybe it's not bad for white. Knight b5. Basically, it looks like a pretty good position for black. Just guard. Give the pawn back. I'm not a greedy person. You can have your pawn back. Black has traded pieces. Has a completely solid king side. This looks good. It's a good King's Indian. I have a lot of freedom because I've traded that piece off. He doesn't have a center. He could have a center with f3 and e4, potentially Now knight e4 is interesting. What do I do if bishop f4? He didn't try it. All right. Now the h-file. So our classic London system hero will aim to castle queenside. We're looking for dark squares. Do you see any good dark squares? I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here for black. What I want to do is get c5. Really use this dark square bishop. This is my secret from yesterday's game, my Hungarian Team Championship. I had an unopposed dark square bishop. If you have such a piece that doesn't have, an opposite, you should be striving actively to find opportunities on that color complex. c5 is a little bit ambitious there. I'm going to go a little more long-term, I think, here. Thinking a little more long-term. He just checks and stuff with bishop e5. Equalize before we play for a win. There is a slight threat of c5 in some positions. And there is some imbalance in the pawn structure. It's not like it's the same symmetrical pawn structure for both sides, which is important. And very important when you have bishops against knight, that your pawns have fluidity, that the pawn structure is not fixed, so his knights don't have good outpost squares. He has this outpost square, but it's potential, obviously there's potential for me to play c5, kick it out. Fat and mad. I know that guy. Fat and Mad came to Budapest and played, I think, an IM tournament. Here we go with the endgame again. Bishops also like rook pawns. Bishops and rook pawns are old friends. Knights, not so much. Knights hate rook pawns. They're like arch enemies. I sound like I'm teaching a little kid's chess stream. Rufus and Doofus, welcome. I don't think I even stopped to say welcome. For everyone's information, I'm going to end the stream soon, in like 20 minutes, but again, the theme is two bishops, do not trade pieces, keep the flexible structure, await your opportunities. Mr. Coffee giving up his dark square bishop on f6. Nice game, by the way, yesterday, Mr. Coffee. You managed to play without trading your bishop on g5 for f6. And I think it was good. I totally missed queen c5, queen e3, queen c5, and then it was just a horror show. I was lucky not to lose. I'm lucky I have that tactic, with knight c4. I didn't look at it. Did you check with the computer? Was I lost? Was I totally lost at some point? Maybe I should castle now. Then f7 could get weak. Manual castling. Well, it's not like he can play e4 yet. He can play c4. Oh, in the end you were plus 2.7? Damn. I mean, I expected you to be plus 0.27 at some point. I didn't think you were plus 2.7 at the end. Ouch. Not sure about my king here. We'll work with it. You know, his rook makes my king feel a little bit nervous. But that isn't an open file yet. Listen, Arnu, are you next? Yeah. Okay, so what's going on here? I was banking on this being like an unprotected thing, but there's a problem. I have to play bishop g4. Well, I don't have to. I mean, he's threatening e5. Oh, he's got e5 anyway. I can play bishop g7. This is getting a little bit weird now. Yanni came back. I'm down to 23 seconds. He's only 1875. Kind of my typical opponent here. I forgot he's got a hanging rook. Okay. e5, bishop takes d1, pawn takes f6 check, king takes f6, rook takes d1, c5 wins a piece. Okay. Right. This guy's got some serious speed. How is he so fast? It amazes me sometimes how people who are worse can stay ahead on the clock the whole game. Basically, he's had to find a lot of defensive moves. Oh, that was a bad idea. What? Oh my god. We're both like blundering. But obstacle bishop's better for me. With this speed, he should be like easily 2,000. I haven't really seen bad play here by white. He had a better move there. Well, that he could have played last move. Now he goes a pawn down, facing 3 connectors. Man, bishop, that's an annoying move. Kind of tough endgame. But these 3 connectors, very powerful. That's a great move, dude, to play with no time left. Damn. Check him out. Oh, I totally screwed this up. No, he missed it. I shouldn't have taken away from the center. Just a draw. He's pretty strong, seriously. Whoever this guy is. Amazingly strong for 1800. There's no way to win that. I'm an idiot though. I took the wrong way with the pawn. If I take toward the center, it's a win. It should be a win. A takes b5. The computer doesn't think so. Wow. I would think this would be stronger. I actually thought the best move is king d4. That's the one move that's losing according to the table base. I would think I would benefit from the pawns being more in the center. The Stockfish doesn't agree. It's still a draw. Interesting technique. No, it's not a win. There are ways he could screw it up. Someone lost that position against me last week. Similar. Almost the same endgame. Well, I think when you take toward the center, your king can maneuver on both sides of the pawns. It's probably not enough to win, but that way my king can come over this way or come over this way. I think anytime the pawns are toward the side, there's more tendency toward like stalemates and stuff. Yeah, the computer says king d4, but it's a draw. Even this is losing apparently. Because of c5 check. That just that little bit of space, apparently. Where's the table base? Apparently that's almost like practically enough to win. That's amazing. The pawns are just a little bit more advanced. It's winning. It's very hard to know. You can't memorize like every single position of opposite-colored bishops with two connectors. I mean, you'd be spending half of your life. You just rated. He rated with a party of 6. Peter Balkus. Balkus, not Balkush. Thanks for rating, man. I'm actually going to finish in like 15 minutes, but thank you for the raid. We'll play one more game. Lee Arthur. How did Lee get in there? Was he ahead of Arthur? It's weird. I thought Arthur was like next. These guys aren't going to get to play too many challenges for sure. Higa. Arthur. I thought Arthur was next. That's weird. But I have time for like one more game. That guy played really well. The last opponent defended great and super fast. Getting a lot of that. 1800s who play like masters. At the opening he didn't play like a master, but the technique at the end was good. Normally I would beat people from that end game. I had 2 bishops, better position. White was able to defend using very little time, which most people are not capable of. I mean, normally when you have a worse position, you need more time. You know, it's easy to play quickly when you have the advantage. That's why I'm surprised that guy's defense was actually pretty good from a much worse position. Saeed. He played very well. He missed rook takes f. I mean, he had like way better moves at the end. It didn't seem to matter though. Like he made 2 or 3 overt mistakes at the end. I think I was possibly winning. The one position where I was probably definitely winning, I'm not even sure about. I say definitely. I thought when I had 3 connected pawns against A and F pawns, that's probably a win for white. But I'm not so sure. He has ways to get his bishop and his rook active, and then behind and attacking like b7, the base of my pawn chain. I basically need to push my pawns up to like c6, b5, and a5 or a6, and be able to protect c7. Even that, I'm not sure I'm winning. I really wanted to play with the rooks on the board, more or less. I wanted to keep the rooks on the board and try to play that position. I don't know what the deal is with this. Similar to Floor of Capablanca, but not exactly. He just snapped it off. See you later. Thanks for rating, Peter. Yeah, he played great against me yesterday. Asterbate played an original game. He lied and he said that he mouse slipped e5 in the opening. If you check out the simul game from Asterbate yesterday, Arsenal, I think he was lying, you know. He's just joking. He made this really interesting early e5 advance, and then jokingly said it was a mouse slip, but I have my doubts. Guys, this is my new starting time, 11 a.m. European time, and it's like a c3 Sicilian, colors reversed, queen g4 variation, or bishop g5, bishop g4 variation, exact position. So he's used 20 seconds for the whole game, 1600 in bullet. Everybody's good, it's unbelievable. I have a student who's like 2000, 1990 or something like that, and he's playing like 1500s and losing to them, can't beat them, draw. It seems like people are getting better and better. Merle Dixon just woke up, ready to be a zombie again. Ready for your zombie job. See, the later start allows me to get the undead to watch the stream. It's very useful. The undead on the North American side. Yeah, move 11. He's playing in under 2000 section, struggling even against 1500s. And I can see it's like, but they're just like kids who are like 1500, but they're going to be like 2000 in like a year, you know. It's unbelievable how quickly people are able to improve. But it's like, if you're 1500, you really should have some serious flaws in your game. Artur has used 48 seconds so far, and he's like 1600 in bullet. Playing, I think, almost perfectly. Knight c7 traps my knight, essentially. I mean, I actually need to use time. I'm an international master, but this player is 1800, doesn't need to use any time to make good moves. Knight takes e6, pawn takes e6, knight d4 is not enough. I just have to retreat. Nothing better I can do. Probably a draw, I anticipate. There's a 15-year-old. 15 is old, dude. In Dorset, who you're going 3-6 in the junior. I mean, that's a typical age where you see a large improvement, I think, in skill, though, to be fair. So far, the 1800 has used 54 seconds. I'm a little worried about my bishop, but I guess it can get out to e5. He actually asked to play rapid. But I think it's funny. If you're going to play this fast, what's the point in playing 7+3? I don't really get it. Yeah, I wanted to play bishop e5, the previous move. Okay, I'll play the last game against Hugo, just because he played a fantastic game in our simul yesterday. Otherwise, I was going to quit. I'm not sure about how accurate this guy's rating is. We are a little bit better here, but I'm concerned it's not enough to win. It might be close to Zuzwan. Close isn't enough, though. Maybe it is. Virtual Zuzwan. Endgame technique, too. Alright. Should I just offer a draw now? There's no way you're going to beat this guy. It's not interesting. Let's play with Hugo. Not interesting to me. Alright. Another 1800 lichess player who played like a master, right? Next, hopefully fallible. Okay, an open Sicilian yesterday. Thank God no more Rossalimo. I had Rossalimo torture. Mr. Coffee, can I quote you? I try not to use a computer at first, if I can, but often I use the computer in the end. Reported. Can I send in that? Who got 1960? Great French yesterday. I don't really play a Sveshnikov Arsenal. I played it when I was like 1700. I played it until I was about 1600. You know, I'm thinking I even quit it earlier than that because it doesn't seem to me I had too many tournament games with Sveshnikov. Maybe 2 or 3 when I was a kid. Sveshnikov always ends up in an ops-colored bishop draw in the main line. I think that's one of the reasons why Fabiano chose to play the variations with knight to d5. At least you have like a space advantage. It's not just this ops-colored bishop thing where every game is like a forced draw. Okay, guys, last game for today. I'm out of here. Classical Dragon. So, in the old days, everybody played knight b3, but it seems like most people online don't know the theory. There are people who play queen d2. Nefedov, one of our subscribers. I don't know. I mean, if you compare this to the Yugoslav attack, I mean, it seems like you're just playing a bad Yugoslav attack. There's also d5. If I want to equalize, I can play d5, I guess. But if I wanted to beat someone, it's a problem. d5, there's this like long equalizing variation, like ed5, knight d5, knight d5, queen d5, bishop f3. Is that right? I've done some crazy stuff against Nefedov where I don't castle, but I'm already castled here. I'm a little reluctant to play that line. I don't know. The Yugoslav. No, he didn't lose a tempo. I mean, I think this is even played by some strong players. It used to be that like nobody ever who was 2600 would play such a system. But I have noticed in the opening explorer, in the database, there are some strong grandmasters who have played this move with white. It's probably nothing, but it's sort of easy to play and probably equal. Knight d5, knight d5, knight d4. Knight e7 check, queen e7, bishop d4. That looks kind of interesting. Knight d5, knight d4, bishop d4, queen d5. I mean, that's probably the way to equalize. And then like bishop takes g7, queen d2 check with a draw-ish position. Not a forced draw, of course. But if I take with the queen, he has bishop f3. Then I have to play some weird move like queen e5. And then he temporarily wins a pawn. Maybe knight takes c6. No, it's not clear though. After queen d5, most people play what? Queen, knight takes c6, queen c6. He has 2 pawns hanging on f3 and b2. It's not like I committed this to memory. Queen d5, bishop f3, queen e5. Knight c6, queen takes b2 isn't good because of knight takes e7 check. So b takes c6. And and then he plays c3, and then I defend my pawn, and it's like a freaking draw, you know. But if knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, queen d5, bishop g7, queen takes g2, can I do that? Let's try. You can only learn by trying. An attempt to breathe new life into this lifeless position. Yasser. Not really a hyper-accelerated dragon player. I think he probably is a clone. He's a hyper-accelerated dragon clone. A lot of people copied the idea. Like, who was it recently? Ron Henley does videos on the accelerated dragon. Dude, like, Ron Henley never played the accelerated dragon when he was playing tournaments. He just, like, copied it because Roman's opening videos were popular. So what's happening here? What am I missing? Queen takes d5, bishop g7, queen takes g2. Is there some sort of secret move? There's some weird line. Queen d5, bishop g7. Trading queens is a draw-ish position. But I have queen takes g2, and then he has like queen c3. Queen takes h1 check. I mean, that's not possible. Is it? I mean, I'm very skeptical of that. We'll find out. Stay tuned. Trying to find new ways to play for a win. Well, obviously he can castle queenside. I take on g7 and I want the pawn, but he has some threats. Maybe that's more dangerous than I thought. h5. At least I have an extra pawn to give away. What if he plays h4? I could play h5 just to prevent him from playing h5. I mean, obviously, there are a lot of moves. This is no time to be materialistic. The question is, how strong is h5? Yes, I have to play bishop f5 at some point. It seems much stronger than bishop e6. It guards g6. You know, I could play bishop g6 to prevent myself from getting mated in the event of h5, h takes g, and it guards the king side. It also attacks c2. I mean, if h4, h5, bishop takes h5, I was actually looking at that. It seems stupid. And what's the point of just like losing a pawn? I would be surprised if this has already been played before. It's very logical, you know. Now we have a question. Obviously king h6. King g8 feels safer. I mean, f6 is not to be omitted from the list of possibilities. Pawn grabbing. I guess a pawn is better than no pawn. If I play queen g5 check, it forces his king to a safer position and gives him h4 with tempo. So I might as well just take the pawn. I'm curious to look after the game, guys. I've got to go, but I want to see after this game if this variation has actually been played before. This is really good for me. I think queen h4 just blockades his h-pawn. That's got to be pretty annoying for white. Now he's probably objectively losing. Bishop h3. Rook c8 followed by bishop f5. That's it. So thank you for the game. I want to see this, if this has been played before. I never really bothered to study this seriously. Yeah, so it's the best move. I literally never bothered to look at this, you know. Actually, Black is an overwhelming score. Sviton, who's a huge dragon expert. No, it's correct. Yeah, this happened. Fogarashi. I don't know what Fogarashi was thinking. He basically doesn't play anymore. He hasn't played since the mid-2000s much. This is really bad. This all happened before. I'm not surprised. The computer, no. When the computer was still human. And an old Miles game. So what are you supposed to do? E takes d5. What are you supposed to do? Knight takes c6. Bartsai Adorian. You can do this. Black is like a tiny bit better. Well, that's why people play knight b3 in the classical variation anyway. Now you know why. Anyway, guys, thanks for the games. I'm going to be back. I've got to go. Thanks for tuning into the stream. We will be back on tomorrow night. It will be an arena tournament, Arena Blitz tournament I'm hosting, Ponda and Horses Club. You can join the club and play in the tournament tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Central European Time. Thanks to everybody for playing, for hanging out, and from the Ponda and myself, we will say good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye-bye. Enjoy the snow. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Mr. Coffee and JCS. Bye-bye.